Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hawken. It is a free-to-play game that is, within the next month or so, being March of 2014, going to be released on Steam. I'm currently in the beta, as you can see with that tiny little writing up there, and I actually had access to the alpha and the beta well over a year ago now. And due to Mass Effect blinding me from the rest of everything else that was going on this planet, I completely didn't even realize it. And then I looked, something piqued my interest, and then I looked back through my email. Oh, sure enough, back in September of 2012, yeah, I had an invite. Anyway, point is, I'm an idiot and totally didn't play it. But so then I did. And because I had access to that, I can actually get early access on Steam, which is what we're seeing now. And you can also buy early access, as well as a whole bunch of other shit. And I kind of felt bad that I didn't play and help them test stuff, so I just bought the Steam pack and got myself a whole bunch of shit. Even though I had access, because why not? Anyway, the gist is, this is a first-person shooter where you pilot a gigantic mech. For some reason I call them robots. I guess they sort of are, but you pilot them. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, that is one of them. Here are all the ones that I have because of the Steam pack. So when you start off, you get this little dude. He's so cute, and he totally reminds me of Mike the TV from Reboot. Yep. You can buy him for only $99.99. God. Anyway, so I would recommend. I'm just gonna kind of go over a little bit of all these menus and things and stuff. That's the wrong button. General, lots of settings to look through and check out. Keybinds for everything. Video settings are pretty robust. You can actually change your where is it? Nope, that's game controls. Field of view. Yeah, you can do some I tweaks to tweak it up a little bit more. All sorts of things you can play with, etc., etc. Pretty standard stuff, but a good amount of stuff for a PC game. Well, some games just really skimp out and it kind of sucks. Anywho, the first thing that the game takes you through is training, and I'd strongly recommend going through that. It kind of gets you a little bit familiar with how most of the mechanics and stuff work. And you take out your little this little dude. He's kind of a standard run-of-the-mill kind of mech thing. And yeah, so if you hit the stats, this basically gives a bit of a rundown of everything. Comparatively, this is the closest match. You know, a little more armor, it's a little quicker, that kind of thing. And such. Now, the items, equipment, items and internals, all of these things are unlocked by your pilot rank, which you just gain by playing. You level up, you can unlock stuff. Kind of makes sense, pretty standard stuff there too. So yeah, currently my rank 17 allows me to get up to this stuff. And then, you know, this one you can see right there at 18 I get a couple more things, etc., etc. Now, each time you buy any one of these things, or the internals, these are also unlocked by pilot rank, pilot level, whatever, they're only for that specific mech. So, and money doesn't come too quickly. This is the in-game credits that you earn just by playing. You get like 100 or 200 or somewhere in the middle there per game if you do good, and you know, all sorts of little achievement-y stuff. This is just straight up, you pay cash money, well, I guess virtual, whatever, credit card, fucking words. You just buy these, and you can also use them to buy stuff. So you can, yeah, you can augment that if you feel like spending money. I got a little bit of each of these from that Steam pack, so it's cool. Consumables are for the co-op, which is actually kind of fun. You get them just from ranking up and stuff too, leveling up and stuff. Weapons, the Steam thing unlocked a whole bunch of the primary and secondary. Now this one I bought. This was the first one I actually bought before I picked up the Steam pack, when I still didn't have much and didn't quite understand how the game worked and so on. So I leveled this thing up enough to finally buy his second weapon, which I kind of really want to do. That's also kind of a lot of money. So it's a game of a lot of choices and a lot of making good choices because it's... I mean, you can always just spend real money and buy stuff. Yes, true, fine. But if you don't feel like spending hundreds of dollars, you gotta choose wisely when you spend your Hawken credits. So yeah, I'm at a crossroads here trying to figure out what do I want to spend this on. I've been saving up for a long time, and I kind of, you know, I got some stuff here which I didn't know what I was doing. Now these, I guess I should explain what these are. Items are things that you actively use when you're fighting in a match. In this case, this thing is a little rocket. It has an awesome looking explosion, and this is a little grenade type thing. And apparently they're going to make this so that you can detonate it when you want to, because right now it doesn't. In some future patch or something like that. Anyway, so these things, the difference is you got Mark 1, Mark 2, and all there's Mark 3. It just means 1 charge, 2, or 3. Pretty simple stuff. And that is per death, essentially. And in the co-op bot thing, it's per round, per wave, I guess it's called. So, yeah, that sounds right. And, yep, not so cheap. So I'm like, I've been focusing on the brawler, personally, and yeah, I think it just comes with a detonator, that makes sense. Or the shield? I don't remember, one of them. I didn't know what I was doing. Once again, the repair charge is what I really want. I think, yeah, I bought the repair charge and the shield, which are both helpful. I find I don't even use the shield. I don't really... I'd rather use the repair charge, so I'm probably gonna spend all of that next. To get myself 2 charges per life, which is incredibly helpful. Now the internals, these are all passive buffs, basically. So the way to think about it, it's all of your passive stuff. So I unlocked a whole bunch of stuff at first, which, yeah, was kind of, they're not that expensive, but still, it was a whole bunch of money gone to waste. And right now, I'm kind of happy where I am at the moment. Take 20% less damage while boosting or dodging. It does not apply to turret mode. I'll explain turret mode later. Repair kit, gain 15% more armor repair from orbs, which means that, okay, when you kill a guy, it drops a little orb. You can also, like the repair thing here, drops one of those. This means you get 15% more armor out of it, which is actually quite beneficial to the big guys. As opposed to, where is it, the extractor for the smaller guys, like the class A's, probably better to get that faster because the orb will pretty much fill you up. As is, you don't need it more from it, you'd rather get it faster and get a move on, etc. And this armor fuser, I'm really liking it. Every time you get a kill, you get a whole bunch of armor regen. Very helpful. So, you know, it's hard to say. I might pick up one of the advanced things, but you can see they take up 3 slots, so half. So then you gotta get something level 1 something and a level 2. So there's lots of contemplation, and there isn't no real best kind of thing. It more suits your playstyle. I do a lot of dodging, or at least I try to, so this actually is quite beneficial. Boosting or dodging, that's a pretty decent chunk of damage mitigation. I like it. Yeah, okay. That kind of sums everything up. You can pick your weapons. You know, I got these 2. I like them both. I guess I'll play the brawler right now. Sure, with the flat cannon, because why not? These are, so the mechs are, the mechs are separated into 3 classes, and this doesn't really explain much. Does it? Okay, it does say Type C heavy. Those are the big, slow, fat asses that have lots of armor, and you know, they're just slow, but they can take some punishment and etc. etc. The lights are super fast, super squishy, glass cannon-y type things. This is a very general breakdown of what they are. And the Bs are just kind of a happy medium in between. They're a little bit tougher than the As, not as tough as the Cs, and they're kind of medium in the speed and etc. etc. So you can kind of think of these as all just different classes, which you can customize, you know, unlock different weapons for them, and switch your internals and your items, and it's just crazy the amount of customization. You can also, like here's my guy. You can also spend real monies if you so choose and change the colors of them and stuff. And I have the elite skin, well, because I've unlocked it just from ranking this thing up, which those things you just can't change the color because it's the elite version. Whatever. Anyway, so that's, I think, everything I wanted to cover. Pretty much sums up the gist of all these crazy menus and what you're looking at the main screen once you first launch the game. So if it's your first time playing, I would strongly recommend going through the training. It really does a decent job of explaining most things, especially to do with actual battle. It's helpful. So it's a good place to start, and I'm gonna try and kind of explain everything as we see it in-game once I get into a game. So, let's do that. Perfect, this game just started. I'm gonna take my brawler with the flat cannon. Yeah, it should do fine. Beautiful map. Okay, 1 kill apiece. Just begun. That's my ping. It is good. So, these are all the friendlies. Friendlies are always blue. Your team is always blue. There's one of the orbs that actually gives you health. My health is 785, or my armor, so to speak. And, don't lose it, you know. It's the gist of how these games work. So you have a primary. My primary is the flat cannon, that thing right there. Secondary in this mech is the tow rocket launcher on my right side. And you can see when I'm shooting, beside my crosshair, or kind of around, is my heat level, and that is what that is what determines whether or not you can shoot. So you don't want that to, you don't want to overheat, obviously, because then you can't shoot. So you got to manage that while murdering everything. And what you saw just there was me repairing. Well, I get a little bit of health back. You can get some from the orbs, and I get some back if I make a kill or get an assist, which is due to my internals. But the main way to get health back, because not everybody has those internals, is by repairing. You gotta do that. It takes time. You're vulnerable. You can't see the minimap. Okay. Let's just kind of leave here now. This is one advantage of being one of the tougher classes. I can blabber on like an idiot, shoot funny rocks, and live to tell the tale. Except for now, I'm not gonna make it. I tried. Oh well. So yeah, that right into the thick of things. And between, or when you die, all your charges of things, those are on the right there, which I'm scrolling through with the mouse wheel. You can change your weapons and your mech between deaths, I guess. That's the best way to put that. And something maybe more than other games, well, I don't know, more or less than other games, but the mini-map is very important. You can see the orange there. You can see this guy coming. Shoot a rocket into his face. Chase this guy. And he is dead. And I am also gonna die. Yep. That's one thing with the flat cannon, is not a long-range weapon. Maybe I will equip. I'll change it up, just so you can get an idea of a little bit more standard machine gun type weapon, because only a couple of mechs have flat cannon type things. Basically a shotgun. But so what I'm doing here is skating, so to speak, and it's because your dodges, in this case, because I'm on a heavy, wow, they have a 1.4 second cooldown until the next time that you can dodge, but they don't cost fuel. Oh, total rocket miss. There's a double kill there. So you can boost forward and scoot to the side just like that to cover ground very quickly without running out of fuels super quickly. It's something definitely worth practicing. Oh. And yeah, couldn't really have done that with a flat cannon. This is definitely beneficial. Now I also have Okay, doesn't seem like there's anybody behind us. Turret mode! Gain an incredible amount, well, I guess not on this one so much, damage reduction, and I also heal. Which you can see, my health is going up. Oh, I actually have a healer right now. You can't dodge, but you can't fly. So you can still boost forward, which is, and diagonal, which is good. It's kind of awesome with healer. But you are very, very vulnerable from behind. You take 50% more damage from behind. So if you get flanked, you're pretty fucked. As long as you can keep yourself. Oh god, I do have a healer, which is good. That little yellow kind of brackety thing means that a teammate is healing you, which in this case is probably the only reason why I'm alive. And I overheated there, so let's get some more health there. This is kind of nice with the healer. We are catching up, and I'm not dying. I like this guy. Now, another thing too, when you're doing anything that generates heat or boosting, and I think dodging, you show up on the radar. Otherwise, you don't. So you can actually sneak up on them pretty good if you just walk. Ow. Overheating, yeah, there's guys everywhere. I think it's time to get back into normal mech mode. Cover some ground a little quicker. Oh. Turret setup? I don't know. Oh. And oh, he dropped the shield on me. There we go. Got him. Grab the little orb here to. Uh-oh, shit, I'm gonna overheat. So after 3 seconds, there we go. Your guns cool down very quickly. Oh boy. I went on to an orb to get that while repairing, which speeds up the process quite a bit. Very helpful, very helpful. Looks like we may actually get the win. As long as we keep this up and nobody does anything stupid. Myself mostly included. Alright, see, one of the things I've noticed the most overall is lone wolfing is bad and playing as a team is good. That is how you win this game. Sticking together, helping each other out, the big guys like me soaking up damage, keep the little guys alive. It's quite helpful. Saw one of our guys over here fighting something. Give him a hand. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, also explosions. So many explosions. This game is beautiful. Where's the sun? Ah. Yeah, anyway. You can also do, which I'm not going to do right now, 180 degree spin backwards, just for, basically for getting the fuck out. GTFO button. You can with most secondary weapons. Not all of them, but you can detonate them when you want to. Like I can fire a rocket, detonate it. Guy dodges to the side, I can detonate it when I want. Whoa. Uh-oh. That being stupid? Just did that. Son of a bitch. We are up by 5, though. Looks like we might be able to pull through. In certain situations, in most cases, I like the flat cannon. But it kind of depends on the map. This one right now, everything has been played out at a little bit longer range, so this, the Hawkens here seems to be doing a much better job for actually making contact with guys and doing a reasonable amount of damage from a distance. Ouch! Alright. Doesn't look like there's anyone behind. Let's get our turret on. And then the game is over.
Mission success.
Well, there we are. That was a quick demonstration of this wonderful game, which I think I'm going to be covering a lot more of, just to give it, I mean, it's free. So, if there's anything you should take from this, it's try it. If you like shooting stuff and blowing things up, give Hawken a try. It's amazing within the next month, give or take. I don't know exactly when, because they haven't said, but they did say first quarter 2014. It should be out soon, and all it takes is a bit of your bandwidth to download it once it's out and give it a try and say hi to me in game and let's play. It's fun. It's awesome. I'm really enjoying it. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect a competitive multiplayer game to really turn my crank, I guess you could say. But this totally has. Especially the fact that anybody can just play it. It's running on Unreal Engine 3, so it runs beautifully. And like I have it basically cranked, plus I'm recording, and it's yeah, it's smooth. You don't need a super powerhouse machine to play it. I don't know. There's nothing I can say but good about this game. So, yeah, that was a quick little demonstration. We'll get maybe a little bit more in depth as time goes on and I actually get better at the game, that is my plan, and I would like to cover as much of it as possible, and hopefully you learn something from these videos. So, yeah, that said, thanks for watching. See you next time.